Greetings YouTube and welcome to the Blue Corner and to a Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile, and we're going to once again be talking about Mikanko, as I took this again to a recent local and did a bit better, mind you, better in quotations, because even though I went 3-1, one of my rounds was pretty much a bye. It was against a Blue Eyes player who is terrible, and it's freaking Blue Eyes. Of course Mikanko's going to clap that, so like the round that really mattered versus Sprite, I lost 1-2. I did pick up a win. Unfortunately, that matchup's kind of rough, and a thing I learned I was afraid of that did happen is that Droll and Lockbird is a problem, and just Gamma alone I don't know is enough to deal with it, but yeah, I'll show you what's changed since last time and some things I liked and didn't like, and yeah, this is just a nice V2. I'm still kind of contemplating taking this to an upcoming regional this weekend. I know it's pure Cope, but pretty much all the other decks I have this format are also Cope, so if I'm going to play a Cope deck, I may as well play a Cope deck that I like. But anyway, so for the monsters, Ohime, that 3 has not changed. Diviner, I did do the Diviner combo once or twice. Unfortunately, I did get Diviner getting hit by Droll sucked pretty bad. So that, yeah, at least with prep, if I get hit by Droll, there's a chance I can Gamma the opponent, because a lot of people are holding their Gammas until you summon a monster, so depending on what kind of opponent you're playing, you might actually be able to resolve Prep or Ohime. It just, yeah, if you get Drolled after Prep, it kind of sucks. If you get Drolled after Ohime, you can at least play. You can use Ceremony to summon her, and you can Foolish Aberrask and at least get to Nini, or depending on what else you have, and go from there. But yeah, I think in spite of Droll being around, I'm still going to run high numbers of these, just because there were games I had where I didn't see Ohime, and it sucked. I did win at least one of them off of the back of just opening basically the rest of the engine, but having Ohime makes a world of difference. Then for the remaining monsters, my ratio is the same as last time: 2 Harvey, 2 Huli, and 2 Nini. I definitely liked having multiples of these two, as I needed to summon something. I needed to summon another copy of them more than once during the day, so I'm probably going to stick with these copies. I don't know if I want to go with 2 of these as well. I do like Nini being around for when you go first and you get Droll, because that is a thing you do. But I don't know if I go more than that. If I'm going doing a blind second, I probably wouldn't. No, I think I'd still play just to have a name. Prosperity. I made the switch to Prosperity, and my fucking god, what a difference. There were quite a few hands where Prosperity drew me out of a brick into playable. I did get ashed on a Prosperity for 6 once, but that was fine. I opened Preparation of Rites and did things, and well, I was safe from ash and I didn't get drolled that game, so I will take that exchange. Ceremony, still at 2. I never needed to get the third one. 1 Kagura. I actually did win a game off of that burn effect after I stole a Masquerade, and after I swung 2 times into the Masquerade and stole it with Ohime using Rondo and Battle Phase. In the main phase 2, I had the Ritual spell in hand and I just used it to pop the last one, 500 life. Pretty neat. Aberrask. There were a couple times where I opened with Aberrask and no monsters, so I don't know if that's an issue of too many Aberrask or not enough monsters in the deck. So, but yeah, Aberrask is good though. Fire Dance. The effect to summon something out of the opponent's graveyard actually came up a couple times in order to secure game. I think, what did I do? I was up against a guy on cash tier, and I used this to bring back a negated Fender so he couldn't summon more monsters out of his hand. And then I had the option to use Nini or a means to equip Rondo onto the Rise Heart that they summoned in order to steal it and go from there. Purification Dance. This card was good. Rondo, of course, is good. Minor Chidori, it was good as well. And then I went down to 1 of each trap, and wouldn't you know, I still ended up drawing both of them at least once. Yeah, I figured I needed to make room for some more non-engine, so I cut down a Rivalry. I kind of missed having the second one, but there were a couple times where like this was enough. I opened Rivalry, I searched Promise, and Promise into Nini with an equip is pretty good against some decks. Then for the honorary Mikanko spell equips, Axe of Fools. I never used this, but it was there for when I opened with Rondo. Double-edged sword. This did come up a couple times. I used it to secure a game shot against a branded deck. I got him down to just only Clem on the board, or was it Cartesia? It was one of them. It was one of the 1500s, and he was at full life. So I slapped this, summoned 3 Mikankos, and swung, and he was dead. I also did this to a Blue Eyes player or somebody. I just know I got the double-edged sword OTK a couple times, and then I finally got my hands on a Middle Silver armor. I don't really care for this in the main deck. I understand why you do it, because you slap this onto Huli, and it basically shuts off your opponent from using cards at target, which is cool for some things like Monster Reborn, Called by the Grave. But I think I'd rather just side this, because in a build that sometimes goes second, this doesn't really do a whole lot. And I wish there was a couple times where I wish this was literally anything else. Then for non-engine, I played the Gamma package in order to deal with Droll. Unfortunately, it still wasn't quite enough, as I did get Droll. The odd thing was I only ever opened Gamma when I was going second, and my opponent was doing a combo where I basically had to Gamma there, which was like, well, I want to hold the Gamma for going to my turn, but he's doing full Sprite combo, or he opened with a really weak branded play, and I think I can get him. And in the case of the branded play, yeah, that more or less won the game, because he normal summoned Keeper Dragon Magic and discarded a card that was not a good discard. So I'm like, oh, he doesn't have opening, or he doesn't have a Luber or anything play, so cool. I Gamma this, his turn ends, and we go from there, and that's kind of what happened. What else is to really say? I played some stuff in the extra deck because of Gamma, and I did like it in here, and I probably will continue to play in here, as it is a means to, once again, stock Droll in the main. And I do like the prospect of being able to Gamma my opponent and then tribute off the driver for a ritual summon or overlay or what have you. And then running up the monsters. I don't know where it went, but there is a second Kaiju in here. I was playing one of each, so I was playing 2 Nibs of the Kaiju. I'm still on the fence as to what kind of hand traps to play in here. I don't know if this deck wants to play like the hard stopper hand traps like Droll, Ash, Failure, because you like your opponent having a board in order to interact with it and like swing into it. So I think for like hand traps, aside from Gamma, maybe we're just better off playing like only Kaijus or Kaijus and Nib, because I like the idea of like nibbing my opponent's board, not to just stop them from doing full combo, but just so it stops them from making like the best combo, so that you can play through what they got and then just swing into the big ass token. Or yeah, that's the logic I have with this right now. And then like Kaijus are good for like getting rid of the things, so that 1, you have a Kaiju to swing into, and 2, you get rid of like their strongest negate, so that the Gamma plus whatever you have will be enough to go through. But yeah, there should be a second Kaiju in here. It's just, I don't know where I left it. I had it in here the other day, but it's gone now. But yeah, it should be 1 Thunder King and 1 of the machine guy, Jizukiru, I think it is. Extra deck. So the extra deck, I didn't really like this extra deck, so I'm going to be making some changes. Diviner targets, I legitimately wished I had a second Herald. I regret cutting this, so something's getting cut, and I think I know what it is. Braver Dragon, I never missed having the lack of Charles. So because I was playing Gamma, I figured I'd try and be cheeky and go with the XL Stardust package of, yeah, these 2. As I like the idea of trying to use Ohime or Preparation of Rites. They try to Droll, you Gamma them, and then you make a Barone, and then you get to have your already okay end board backed by Barone that likely has an Equip spell on it, so it can't be popped by effects. And then I decided to just play a Stardust Dragon as a flex with the XL, but I was never going to... You don't really get nibbed often in this deck. Only if you get really greedy, but like your basic plays is under 5 summons. So this can go. IP... Lambda, because I was playing the Gamma package. I wish I had another Link 2 in here. That definitely came up, especially after I used Prosperity. I wish it was like, oh, well, I guess I just summon IP and swing. Like, I wish I had something like a Nightmare Cerberus or a Phoenix. So that's going to be going in there. This guy, because it sometimes comes up. Same Appaloosa, although I kind of wish I had a different Link 4. I do like the idea, though, that Appaloosa is just 2 monsters, which is something that really you can only really do with like Access Code Talker. For Ixie's monsters, I played now the Phantom Knights package in order to go into Zeus alongside this guy, and this guy. I like these. The vampire actually did come up once, and I was able to secure game with it. And then I'll even show you like the current side I was working on as well. I figured I was going to be getting anti-spelled, so I wanted an answer to that. My locals has branded players, and sometimes someone who plays math mech, so I wanted Bishils in here. I liked these. These were really good. Like I said, Blue Eyes player was one of my earlier rounds, and I did a play where I used Magnamut in order to banish his Stone of Ancients, and then on my turn, I equipped it with Aberrest to summon a Mikanko from the deck, bounce this back, and I just slammed it down again. And they're level 6s, so you can make rank 6s with Ohime. Or you can steal their monster and make a rank 6. So I like these. I kind of would like to put another Magnamut in here. Then what else is for going second? And then back row removal. Back row is definitely a thing that you want to get rid of. So I got the 3 mass wipes because we do have people on Tractrix here. I might cut one of these in order to move the metal silver armor to the side or to play another Magnamut. And then going first, just there can only be one in Solemns. Solemn did come up, and I mean, there can only be one is a really good floodgate in this deck because a lot of decks right now have problems with it, like Super Heavy, Purely, Kashtira to an extent, Sprite 2. So like, there can only be one's very good, and for the decks that will like make you blind first, that's a good solid side in. And then Judgment is Judgment because you don't like getting your back row wiped or being hit by evenly matched. And yeah, that's about all I gotta say. So off the top of my head, I'm gonna cut the metal silver armor and maybe the Axe of Fools as well, just because if I'm in the position to use Rivalry, it's going to almost always be just strictly Rondo or Purification Dance. And the chances of me opening both should be slim. That being said, it is me, so it'll happen. But, so those are 2 cuts, and then I can either just run more Kaijus, and maybe cut Diviner down to 2. I hate to lose out on like another Ohime, but again, Droll is prominent in the format, and if I can at least deal with it, Call by the Grave is also an option too. But yeah, comment down below on what you're doing with your Mikanko decks, or if you've got any input to offer, and I will definitely appreciate it. And until next time, this is BlueStar899, jacking out.